Okay, so we got to put some walls in here, and this is not explained in our little project and in the program that well. It says, well, use project 1 to external reference, which we've done. Then proceed. I'm looking under the reference column now. Add a 250 wide or 250 millimeter wide wall around the perimeter. Well, that one is actually broken up by 110 brick wall on the outside of it. Followed by a 50 millimeter cavity or gap, and then on top of the so basically on top of this, that corner there where the set down sort of begins, set down rebate begins, we draw a 90 millimeter wall inside. So I just changed this so you can see it a bit better maybe. My color's not that good. Turn off this grid maybe. Okay, let's see. So basically looking at here, we're going to put in a 110 millimeter wall in there. A little gap, because this width of this should be 160, so 110 will give us 50 millimeter gap. Then we'll begin up the top here. We'll begin with a 90 millimeter wall, which moves inside the house in the slab. All right, so that's how that works. All right, and it's going to be 2.4 high. Because there's a little bit of a set down here, we're going to make the external one 2,430 to allow for that set down, and therefore the top of the both walls will end up at the same level. On top of all that, we may wish to add a concrete slab, it says on the roof, for the roof, and we'll make that about 100 millimeters thick. That's optional. And looking over to the assessment side, it says that we should begin with 3D template. We already have done that. Okay, so we're doing at the end of all this, after we draw the walls in, we got to put in a couple of door openings, not necessarily doors, and a couple of windows. All right, so and then after that, we need to export. This is going to be like not this session, next session. We're going to export this drawing, or into DWFX file. I'll show you how to do that later. Then we'll submit the whole thing using eTransmit. So that'll be the follow up in the next session. All right, so that's summarizing project 2 basically. Okay, let's go with home layers, create a new layer. All right, we're going to go with, now have a look at the layers. Interesting here. The layering in here, it's got this prefix of the drawing are externally referenced in. Okay, so all these layers have got a prefix, and it's got a little pipe symbol, vertical line in between. Then it says a layer name. So it says that this layer name slab belongs to a drawing called slab 10 final. So I can't make that layer current. It won't let me do it. Okay, I can't draw in that layer. All right. So the only layer I can draw in is basically depth points, which happens to be off, and layer 0. So not a good idea to draw on layer 0. So let's create a couple of layers for us to work with. I will go with wall dash brick, just keeping some sort of system going. I know I'm going to have another wall. I'm going to keep that one wall dash studs. Okay, and I'll give them some colors in a minute. Ooh, sounds like a phone. And we'll go with maybe the roof. Just one roof would do. Roof, that would do. Okay, so let's go with the wall. No red bricks. I always imagine it red. And studs, usually yellowish, aren't they? But let's go with green. All right, and the roof. What color we want the roof? Oh, I got cyan maybe. Okay. All right, so that's all I've got to worry about. Just make sure sometimes this comes up unintentionally, which means you'll later on you try and print the project, those walls you've just drawn, although visible on screen, will not print. So just make sure that this thing here has no red line through it. Okay, so I'll make this layer current now. Oh, there it is. And I'll close this thing. So we're done. All right, ready to start. I might turn off perspective as well. Perspective, just type it in, perspective. Once I start typing it in, it will come up. So I'll just click that, and I'll make that 0 because it'll make my life easier when I'm zooming in around here. It's a lot easier to control the zoom. All right, so no, it will stay in this drawing. If I save it, it should stay off. It won't come back. So it should be right. Which reminds me, of course, should be saving as we're going along. All right, we've got some object snaps on. See how we go. Let's go with I'm going to use the polysolid idea again. We used that before to do the beams for the slab. So let's go with that. The height, I said, okay, well, what am I going to draw? Am I going to draw the inside leaf or the external leaf? It might be easier for me to draw the inside leaf because if I draw the external leaf, then I won't be able to sort of snap. I'll have a wall in my way. And in fact, that's how they build it anyway. They build the timber frame to start with. So let's go with that. That's why it's called brick veneer, because the veneer bit is the brick. Okay, so let's go there. Oh, sorry, let's do it again. I didn't set it up properly. So therefore, the height shall be 2400 for this one here. Enter. And the width shall be 90. Enter. And the justification shall be left. There you go, left. All right, so now I'm ready to start drawing. So what layer did I set? Good point, wall brick. So I better make sure I'm in the right layer. All right, not sure that I am because I'm in the middle of command. No, I am by the look of it. So let's do that. Let's go here. All right, there I am in the green layer. Beautiful. All right, so let's keep going around. Sometimes if it doesn't snap properly, you might have to put it on 2D sort of visual style. Okay. And you can shift key, middle mouse button down and swivel around the project while you are in the command to snap onto the other side. Make sure you zoom in right in, like that. So because there's a lot of sort of endpoints there that you might snap onto. If you're not sure that you might be snapping to something, as I said, put it on 2D, or click this endpoint here. That would force just endpoint, but it doesn't mean you might not get a different endpoint. So, but it just means it excludes other things like intersections that you might be also snapping onto. So now we can just press close, and that's done the internal leaf. We will put a couple of rooms in here. Okay, so how do you start off with a room? It doesn't really matter where, it's just arbitrary where we're going to put the room. So I'll just start off with another polysolid. While I've got the command in that height mode, I will go here. Now, probably want to, well, it's one of those times that I want to start with the nearest because I'm just putting it anywhere really. As long as it's snapping onto that bottom of that wall nearest. There we go. I will put on turn on ortho, so I'm going straight ahead over here. I can put a number if I want here. I can say it's going to be, say, 3 meters 500, and to that direction. There it is. It's there apparently. And over here, this is the trick where people sort of forget how to use this bit. Use this guy here, perpendicular. Come over here and click on that here, or if you don't have that there, go shift right click, all right, and then go to perpendicular from here, and just go down to, now here, be careful again, you got to go, see there, it's getting, you can just go over so you can see the perpendicular icon. Just click on there like that. Oh, did that work? No, it didn't. Oh, it did, sorry. Okay, enter. All right, so it's worked, good. All right, so we've done that. All right, so we're ready now to move on to the next bit, which is the exterior. There it goes. Okay, so let's see how we're going for time for that. Right, I'll get that in there in the next 3 minutes, and then I'll pause that and do one more. Let's go with that there, and jump in here. And I'm moving, because I set it to left, I'm moving clockwise, as you can see. That works best. With the left justification. If you go right justification, just go into clockwise, and it should also work. Okay, let's go there. and pop around to the other side. Shift middle mouse button, as I said before, and just click on close or C for close and enter. Alright, so that's done that, and probably going to take 3 minutes. Next thing we're going to do, and you can see here, we've got the gap. Oh, but I did stuff it up a bit there. I should have changed the height to 2430, and I didn't do that. Alright, so anyhow, you have to remember to do that yourselves. It doesn't really matter, it just means there's going to be a gap if we put our slab on top of it. Alright, I'll leave it there. And what else do we need to do? Just save that. Okay, right click there, and we'll